A decision stage. Now, this concept came from years of evidence, years of collecting facts from myself and from other people. And basically, it's not, a lot of people talk about a decision point. And why I say that this is a stage is that it's very important to understand that it cuts through all of the domains of a person. The domains of a person are spiritual, emotional, right? Physical and mental, or psychological. So all of those parts of a human being are basically set up to have a particular vibrational or frequency in what they are experiencing in life. So they're feedback systems all the time. So if you become fearful of something, right, you are going to have a particular response to that. Now, part of that is an unconscious response. Part of that is a learned response. Part of that is a response to a very particular set of triggers. So, for example, many people, they become afraid of something. And so what do? They tense. They have a fear, right, response, which encompasses something that I call a cycle. So they begin to have certain things that happen in their body, but they also begin to have maybe catastrophic thoughts. They say, oh, what is this situation? How do I have to respond to this? Is my teacher going to hit me? Is my father going to hit me? Is something going to happen? How can I, take myself out of this? Perhaps their heartbeat starts to, rapidly increase. Perhaps they start to get clammy. There are lots and lots of responses. And depending on your particular history, your genetics, and everything else, you're going to have particular responses. Now, what I've asked you is to, again and again, become aware of what your body is doing. The reason that it's easiest to recognize what happens in your body is because then you can actually go in your domains and change your frequency. So instead of just having a response without any recognition, you're going to have a response that becomes part of, oh, I see, I am responding in this way, therefore I am having a particular biological cycle. And this particular set of behaviors, the fear of being hit, for example, is something that allows you to say, okay, I am now trying to make myself invisible. I am freezing, just like, certain types of rodents. They see an eagle coming over and they're going to get picked up. Okay, they become part of the ground. So it's not simply, fight or flight. Our responses are much more nuanced than that. And it really depends on all the domains of our body. So I am saying that this is a stage because it's not a point. It is a psychological situation. You're having racing thoughts perhaps, or everything calms down. Many people said that accident in the car, it seemed like it took hours, because they had a heightened response. No, it didn't necessarily take hours. But all during that time, they were at a stage to notice, almost to mega notice, because they were totally adrenalized. And when you're totally adrenalized, everything seems to slow down because your memory is imprinting itself. You are setting up new pathways in your body. So what is fascinating about the decision stage is you can figure out what those pathways are. And then you can say, aha, I am actually reacting to something that happened to me in the car when I was 6 years old, right? You can actually have that same response years later. And what's fascinating is you don't know the difference between what is happening in your mind, in your memory, and what is happening in real time. So, what is important to recognize with any decision stage, that gives you the time to calm and smooth and to use your intellect, to use your mind in order to come up with a new response. That is the point behind the decision stage. It's a stage because you then align energetically all of your domains, your spiritual domain, your emotional domain, right? Your physical domain, but you're using your mind. That is the fantastic thing that humans have. We can use our mind to change our bodies.